Welcome to the Millionaire Penny Coach today. Today we're going to be talking about the Creep Monster Part 2. The Creep Monster Part 2. I hear so many financial gurus tell people that they need to rent and not buy, okay? In the Millionaire Penny Coach program, we talk about the significance of being able to have your own home and have it paid for. This will reduce your living expenses when you hit retirement age. I think it's very, very important for you to have one of those big expenses when you hit age 67, have it done away with. So you have your home and you have a safe and secure shelter to live in the rest of your life, okay? But I understand how they may come up with this idea about you should rent rather than buy. However, on the Creep Monster Part 2, I want you to understand this. We're looking at two houses. One costs $200,000 and one costs $300,000. When does your home that you purchase go from an asset to a liability? Okay, I want you to follow these two scenarios real closely, okay? If you got a $200,000 house, your payment is $1,697 a month. If you have a $300,000 house, your payment is $2,546 a month. And this is assuming a 30-year mortgage, 7.25% interest. So the difference between $2,546 and $1,697 is $849 a month. $849 is the difference in those mortgages. That's including taxes and insurance, okay? But remember, because you know this, it's not really $849. Because of your financial enlightenment now and your financial education, you understand that in order to spend $849 on additional house payment, you have to earn $1,543. So really, the difference in cost of these two houses is $1,543 a month. If you take the $1,543 and you divide it by $30 per hour, that's an additional 51 hours you have to work each and every month to make the payment on this $300,000 house versus the $200,000 house. Now let's think about that. The $849 divided by 55%, which is your net income after taxes, is $1,543 a month. What if we took that $1,543 difference and we invested in the S&P 500 at 9.8%, and after 37 years, do you know what that total amount would be? If we did that, rather than buying the $300,000 house, we bought the $200,000 house and put the difference between the $200,000 and the $300,000 house, if we put that amount in the S&P 500, at the end of 37 years, you would have over $6 million in additional assets on your personal balance sheet. $6 million. The interest alone from that $6 million would be $541,000 a year. More than $541,000 per year. You would never touch the principal. You would only use the interest alone. So you would be able to pass that $6 million down to your children and your children's children. This is the difference between purchasing the $200,000 house and purchasing the $300,000 house. You've got to understand the difference isn't just $849. The difference is actually $1,543. You've got to earn $1,543 to make that additional $849 payment. That's 51 hours of work you have to do. You could take that same money and invest it into the S&P 500 and you could produce $6 million in assets. So what's the real financial cost of that $300,000 versus that $200,000 house? The real financial cost is over $6 million in asset accumulation. So you understand this now. You've watched the channel. You can kind of start piecing this together. Hey, why should I buy this house versus how? What's the real cost? What's the advantage of buying the $200,000 house and then making a financial decision, a decisive decision to take that extra money and put it straight into our retirement or our financial investment account? What's the difference in doing that? The difference is $6 million. You've been enlightened, you've been financially educated. Now we've spurred something in your brain called the reticular activating system. Now you'll be able to understand this and see this when you see the difference in costs and financial expenses, that something that seems to be nonchalant, but in actuality there's a huge cost to pay when you end up spending more money each and every month. Because you got to think, what's the opportunity cost of doing this? What did we really pay for that house, and what did it really cost? You know, in our program, we teach 3 basic financial principles. You know, number 1, pay yourself first. Make it automatic. Make the 401k part of that paying yourself first. We have 2 big principles in the paying yourself first. Pay your 401k, make it automatic, and don't even think about it. Number 2, always spend below what you make. Live below your means. Always spend less than you make. Live way below your means. The lower you can live below your means, the more assets you have to put onto your personal financial balance sheet. And number 3 is build cash reserves. We are huge on building your cash reserves. We use our Ziploc bags to build our cash reserves, and we want to have those cash reserves at our access so that we can buy assets with them. Those are 3 of the big things, and if you don't understand it, watch our channel, subscribe to our channel where we go in depth on that over and over again, because these are the principles. How do NFL football players and great college football players, how do they get good at their art? How do they get so good that they don't even have to think about it? They do the same thing over and over and over again till it becomes second nature. It becomes second nature for you to look at something and say, no, that's a horrible investment. I'm not doing that. I want to do this because it can save a lot more money and it can build financial wealth for my personal balance sheet and for my family and for my future. We want to reduce the amount of financial stress you go through and increase the financial freedom and the building of your financial assets. If you like this information, if you're getting value out of this stuff, click the like button and join us again next week. We'd love to have you to be part of our program. Go to our website, go to our landing page, and check out more information in regards to this stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave questions in the comments section so that we can address those questions for you. Thank you very much. Have a great week. We'll see you back next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.